It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. This guy that doesn't know me was the reason that I'm no longer an agent.
What is the state of morale at the CBP right now?
It's non-existent. It's been that way for a while. We're losing about 50% of our applicants just at the polygraph phase. Most other agencies you'll see they lose about a third of their applicants. We lose 50%. We used to lose 2/3 of our applicants. So for us, it's a matter of we're losing a lot of really great people because of this polygraph portion. And we're stuck with it because the law requires that new agents go through a polygraph. Unfortunately, they're not being administered properly. Everyone's being treated like they're a criminal. And unfortunately, we're losing a lot of people, including those who have prior military service, who have active security clearances, and then they fail a CBP polygraph. It doesn't make any sense.
I entered on duty with U.S. Border Patrol on January 12th, 2004. It was just something that always intrigued me. My husband and I, we're both agents. My twins were born January 17th of 2014. You know, having twins, it was just something that, you know, it's crazy. I worked, you know, just strictly day shift, and he would work swing shift, meaning that he would go in at 4 o'clock. So we were literally like two ships passing in the night. One of the days, my husband was driving home from work, and he fell asleep, and he totaled our vehicle. Luckily, he was okay. But this was like not even 5 miles out of Hebronville where we worked, and just out of sheer exhaustion, you know, we were barely making it. And so after that, I was like, you know what, you know, something has to give. So it was either going to be, you know, my career or my family. And so, you know, I chose to essentially give up my career. After all of this, my husband ended up having a major accident. He tore both his quadricep tendons. He couldn't perform the duties of a Border Patrol agent anymore. I started the process of going back to work. When I first joined the patrol back in 2004, polygraphs were not part of our hiring process. So they said the only thing that they told me was that in order for me to go back, then I would have to undergo a polygraph. I was like, well, I mean, that's fine. Not a big deal. So I thought. I actually did 2 polygraphs because my first one was inconclusive. That was what they told me. So my second one was done about a month and a half later. And that one was in a police station, and that one was literally like in an interrogation room. To me, it already felt like, you know, like I was like a criminal or something. He started accusing me of all kinds of things. He asked me about my background, my family life, and I told him I had 4 kids and the twins, and you know, it was crazy. And he's like, oh, so do you use your husband's prescription medication with wine to take the edge off? And I was like, no. I was like, what? I was like, what gives you that impression? He also accused me of skimming, which was something that I had never heard, that, you know, taking drugs from drug busts that we had, you know, that I was skimming from those busts and taking stuff for myself. He told me that he's like, you failed and you failed bad. He's like serial killer bad. And I was like, what? And, you know, and he was like, yeah, he's like, you're lying about everything. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, I'm not. I've been a law enforcement officer for, you know, almost my entire adult life. You know, I was like, there's nothing that I've done. I was like, I've always held myself to a higher standard. It was a horrible, horrible experience. I never anticipated something like that. These people who literally sit with you for, you know, 2 hours, in this guy's case, like an hour and a half, he was literally the end all to my career, you know, to me coming back to something that, you know, that I was good at.
Law enforcement in general, it's been hard to recruit people. 13,000 or so employees are going to retire. That's throughout all of CBP. That's customs officers, border patrol agents, and other personnel in the agency. So we're at a point now where it's only 5 years from now. We have to replace them somehow. But if we can't even meet our yearly hiring goals, we still don't stand a chance of being able to replace all those people. They'll go to other agencies. DPS here in Texas, they pick up a lot of people who don't get hired by CBP. They'll go to any other police department. They'll go any other place where they're not treated like a criminal during that portion of the hiring process.
And one of the crazy things is I still hold a clearance, and I actually work as a background investigator under contract with CBP. Those same people who, are trying to get hired by CBP, I conduct their background investigation. So I'm good enough to do that, but I'm not good enough to be a Border Patrol agent. It doesn't make any sense.